Hey Skyfly, how you doing? Good, I hope. I hope everything's going well with you. Getting dark already. It's 5 o'clock. 5:05 is supposedly sunset here. Good, I hope. SC Ariels, how are you doing? Yeah, it's not one of the bigger one. It's about 800 feet long. Finally stopped snowing, and we got ice and snow and everything. Wow. Steve, that's you and SC Ariels, right, Steve? Waiting for some of the regulars to join me. All right, Steve. That's wonderful. 78 degrees, clear skies, beautiful day. Drone shots, how you doing? Steve, you're welcome to join the panel if you'd like. You just hit up there at the top and you can just join the panel. Yeah, it's that's a self-unloading bulk carrying barge. Okay, Steve, you're always welcome anytime. 9 in the morning till 5 at night are the two times that we're on here, and you're always welcome to join. East Coast, another Starlink was launched, huh? Okay.
And the two downbound following the Robert F. Pearson, BK Barker, 1724, first 7 and 8, followed by the Edwin H. Scott at 1733. Over. Maria G. Frank traffic. Proceeding upbound, and they gave 30 minutes to 1 and 2. Roger.
You bet. Steve, anytime. We're here.
Party traffic. Upbound for Stag Island is the Maria G at 1747, and upbound for the Salt Dock is the Karen Andre at 1758. Right.
This is a tug coming up here. It's got a barge that's towing behind it with it's got stuff stacked on it. Yep, Skyfly, one more day. One more day left to the week. Thursday night. Now you got his Friday, then you're into the weekend. Tomorrow will be today is actually 2 weeks until Christmas Day. I don't know where Justin is or David or anybody else. We haven't seen David in quite a while. Where's that tug headed? Let me see if I can see where it's going. Just says Canada. Heading to somewhere in Canada. Hey, Mark, good to have you here. I hope you're going to join the panel, buddy. Looks like some big pallet items. Jody's been here quite a while. I can always depend on Jody for showing up. Skyfly too. He's always here. That's in the statement of that I have up there. It's Thursday night with friends. He he's just plugging along pretty slow. Here comes Mark now. Good evening, Mark. Mark in his fishy tank.
Evening, Paul.
Good evening. How are you doing? It's really late there. It's about what,
What's
10,
it
20,
doing?
10:22?
I didn't hear any of that. It turned
I
me.
said, is it about 10:22 there?
Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
For some reason, it turned me phone speaker off when it came on.
Ah, Jody says hi to you, Mark.
Yeah, I've already said hello to him in the chat. You had a busy day, or have you just been sat recovering at home?
Little of both. Little of both. A little bit of running around, a little bit of shoveling, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Oh, Boone got out again this afternoon. This morning.
That was on the other show. Yeah.
Oh, bugger. Let me check and see where he went.
He's just exploring.
Well, he got out yesterday, but he also tried to get out on me today. I opened the crack of the door here to throw some peanuts out, and I pinned him right between his head and the door frame until he came back in.
Mhm.
So I've got to be careful, really careful about him because he's learned how to get out, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to do it, but I was thinking about putting the shock collar on him.
No, that won't make any difference.
It won't make a difference if I give him a little shot.
Not really. No, all you'll do is what's it?
Piss him off more.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I don't want to piss him off, you know?
Yes, we're down at light 7. We give you 30 minutes, Black River.
Roger, the next upbound Essex Amy Lynn D is the Maria T 1747 for Stag Island. There are checks and requests at the Sarnia Government Dock. Imperial and Sun, where they're also requesting a wide berth.
Roger, we got that. Thank you. Okay, Burger.
Roger, good evening.
Who that there? Mark's coming back. Where'd you go, Mark?
I just closed the wrong thing.
I know. I've done that many times myself.
Hmm.
Well, it's getting dark out there. Look at that. Huh.
What are we? 10 degrees feels like 5.
Feels like what?
5.
Ah. Boy, it's dark out there in the lake. That's the lake out there. That's some trees along the lake right here. That just shows how dark it is. Or doesn't show how dark it is. And that's that tug that just went by the end of the barge. Here comes Justin. Hello, Justin.
Lynn D, sorry, Chuck.
1 and 2, about 8 hours to Harbor Beach.
Roger, good evening.
Thank you.
Here comes Steve Carpenter. Hey, Steve, how you doing?
There we go. Ain't seen Steve in a minute.
No, we haven't
Uh,
seen him in a while, but
Jody, Joel,
he was in the chat.
JD, what's up?
Justin, what's going on there with you? Anything?
Not much. What you been up to, Steve?
Hello, Paul.
Hey, Steve, good to see you.
Good to see you. Justin.
How's it going?
Good, good, good. Mark, how are you?
Hi, Steve. Fine, thank you. Nice to see you.
Mark got a new aquarium, a big one,
All right.
and that's the picture behind him.
There we go.
Yeah, you got a bunch of new fish too.
You better hit the glass to get those fish moving.
Well, the thing of it is, and Justin's got a new pet too.
Yeah.
Not
Tell,
really
tell him
new,
what it
but
is.
I got a bearded dragon about a month or so ago.
All right.
And
Very
he's got
cool.
big in the little time I've had him.
Really?
Yeah, they'll get up to about 2 feet.
Holy moly. Well, how big's your tank?
Right now it's a what is it, a 40-gallon?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go up to something a little bigger in about 2-3 months. Be about time for him to move up.
Gonna go what, 60 or 80?
Well, what I'm gonna do is get a sliding like one of those, those cabinets with the sliding glass doors,
Mm-hmm.
like kind of like a TV stand or something. I'm gonna get one of
Right.
those and make one out of that enclosure. Because those are actually bigger than the tanks, and I can do more with it. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I found some really nice ones on Amazon that were only about $100. So.
It's just getting something to hold the weight. The tank is not that heavy. When you put the water in, that's when the weight comes in.
Well, no, I got a bearded dragon,
A
lizard.
bearded dragon. He's got a lizard.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not a fish.
Mark's
Oh.
got the fish.
I know what you're talking about then. But there's also a bearded dragon fish. That's what I just assumed.
Oh,
that.
okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
You got a picture, Doug?
Well, you know, right up around, well, actually, right about there, we had some humpbacks in here yesterday.
Oh,
right,
really?
Right
Oh,
where my
nice.
finger is. You could actually see them off the point.
Show Steve a picture of Doug.
Yeah, let me find that picture. Showed TJ that day because that's the most
He
recent
named
one.
it Doug. It's Sir
Doug?
Douglas.
Sir Douglas Alexander.
Mm.
And you know what he does? The little critter waves at him and stuff, and
There he is right there. But he's probably about 2 inches longer now.
Holy moly.
That was taken a couple weeks ago.
he likes to get up on his shoulder.
Yeah, he was watching TJ on the screen. He likes to sit up on my keyboard and sits there and watches.
And your dogs don't have any problem with him?
Not really, no, but I don't really let the other animals mess with them, so. I usually put them out of the room when I bring them out to hold them and stuff, just
Mm.
be on the safe side. So, what you been up to, Steve?
Busy work-wise, dealing with,
What's up, David?
I've had that project over in Laguna Niguel, you know about for years. Well, the city wants to go through now and purchase part of the property on the backside because we back up against a road called Crown Valley Parkway through Laguna Niguel, right off the I-5 freeway. And it is a busy road. Well, on the eastbound side, coming from Laguna Niguel towards the freeway, they widened it back about 8 years ago,
Uh-huh.
and now they're going to do the westbound side. So in order to do that, they're going to have to annex part of our property, and then on the corner there's a gas station. They're going to be taking it on the Main Street side and on the other side. They're taking 15 feet on both sides of them.
Oh, so they're doing what, in a minute domain?
Well, it's not. They're going to pay fair market value. They came up with an offer.
Okay, so they're not just stealing the property, then they're actually gonna give you guys a little something.
Oh yeah, they have to pay fair market value. Eminent domain is not allowed, and that was knocked out decades ago. The courts overruled on that. You've got to pay.
Is that state or federal?
That's anything.
Okay.
They have to pay you fair market value.
Okay. I did
That's
not
what they're
know that
saying
was
is, that's what they say is the problem with the bullet train that we have here in California. That is a nothing train.
Well, I thought eminent domain was mainly, wouldn't that be used more or less in an emergency like national defense?
No, eminent domain would be
Uh,
used for the better use, like a city, like widening for streets. You know, they're going to widen it because what
okay.
they're going to do is from Crown Valley Parkway, as you get off, they're actually, the moment you make a right-hand turn to go down that direction, they're going to add a lane from that point on all the way down, plus a right-hand turn pocket.
Yeah, they might as well just do 30 feet and just go ahead and do it for the future.
Well, they got to go over they're not going over the freeway like they had to do. They widened the freeway bridge over the I-5 on Crown Valley Parkway, but on this side you're going over train tracks, and it's a main line. That comes from L.A. to San Diego. That's a main line. So you've got a bridge you're going to be adding on, one full lane plus the portion that's already wider there. And then they got to go across, and then right about coming onto the property on the center that I manage, they'll come onto that and move it over almost 15 feet onto the property, and then all the way over onto 20 feet as it goes further in. And then as it continues down to the road, they're going to be taking 15 feet of the whole property, like I say, at the gas station, and then around the corner for a right-hand turn lane.
Yeah, our town's getting a whole brand new expressway coming through it. That's well, it's not brand new, the expressway itself, but the portion that's coming through our city
Uh-huh.
is going to be new that they're adding on to an existing one.
Oh,
And they really should have widened our main street that goes through the city, because now everything's developed on both sides, where it was a lot of land was empty.
Here comes Dominic.
I think they should have took the opportunity to do that ahead of time.
yeah.
Long time
Hello,
no see.
Dominic.
Yeah, long time no see. Where you been?
Oh, working. That's what I was just explaining with these guys. Been dealing with the city. This started back in 2023, and then they dropped it. They couldn't get all the funding that they needed, and
no.
now it's down to they're saying, well, we need to get this rectified because our loan is in jeopardy from Orange County Transit Authority of getting the funding. And I'm sitting there going, well, isn't that funny? Since 2023, I brought this to your because they have a third party agent that's doing they're doing the appraisal of the property and then buying the property for the city. They're the representative. And I said, I said, I don't know what the problem is when I can't get answers to questions, because what the problem is we have here, it's for the electric, it's San Diego Gas and Electric. They have encroached onto the property with vaults and transformers onto the property. And I'm going, no, they don't have an easement. They've encroached. You got to get this thing taken care of. And I've been telling them, they're going, so what did they do? In the drawings, almost 90-page drawing package, they just went and removed the section of where they were going to be putting new curbing around the vault and all that area and redoing it. I'm saying, you're on private property. So they removed it from the drawing, and then like a bunch of numbskulls in a meeting, and this is with the head of the Public Works Division and everything, saying, oh, well, the new curb is going to be right up to the existing public right-of-way. Well, the public right-of-way and the private property is like if you took my screen and drove it right in half. The vault sits right over the middle of it, so it's half on public side, half on private side. And that's where the curb's going to be, right through the middle of a vault.
Wow.
So it's a big transformer box.
Yeah, well, it's a high voltage.
See, what I would do, Steve, is I'd go to him and say, well, how many people does this little transformer box serve? How much is it worth to lease that little chunk of property for you?
Well, no, what they can do is,
well,
they can do is buy it out. They could buy it out. And I'm not even after that, because we're thinking about increasing the power if the building wants to expand to increase because the building was built back in the mid 70s. So each of the retail units only has a 3-phase 100-amp panel. So to go to 200 amp, we'd have to double the capability of coming in from the front of the property, which they have an easement because we have a transformer sitting on the property that they do have an easement for in order to feed it because we got an 800 amp service. Well, it would be jumping up to either 1800 or 2000 amp service to the building. And then what I do is say, okay, we'll make a trade. We don't pay for any of the transformer upgrades or any of the stuff and trade for you to give that, and we deed it over to you.
Okay, so this is what you can do, Steve. Take your whole town. You guys uproot, move to Florida. I'll have you permits and funding in like a week, 2 weeks out.
Just like Elon Musk did moving to Texas out of
Yeah.
California. Do you know he would have not had his permits yet
Oh, I know. That's
here
he
in
got-
Fremont, California, and that it's been running and opening now for what?
at least what, 4 or 5 years?
Well, no, it hasn't been that long.
No, it's been about 3 years. I want to say it was about a year or so.
When
of
he
the
went out
Bidens.
there, yeah, it's only been
Yeah.
open in about, I say, a year and a half to 2 years.
Well,
since
and
it's
then
been
add, what,
operational.
about 6 months for him to get it put up? It was about
No,
6
it's
months to
we're
a year.
we're talking since he started. Since he went and initially started, it's coming on its 5th year. If here in California, and they still wouldn't have had it done.
Oh yeah, the Texas, they got that up and running really quick.
I know Billy Kyle went out there and he flew it. He had a really good video of it.
Did you hear Ken Heron's channel got hacked again?
Who?
Ken? His
No.
channel got, yeah,
Ken
it was
Heron.
about a week and a half ago.
No.
Yeah.
What the hell is he doing? He's getting leaked so much.
Clicking on emails, probably from fake sponsors. That's how a
Mhm.
lot of them get them.
Yeah. Well, I know
Or
we
it's
use-
fake existing sponsors he already has. They're sending fake emails saying they're from them.
Well, I know with Microsoft 365, Office 365, we're on for the business, we're on Google GoDaddy's email servers there. And what they implemented that you could upgrade and just turn it on. And if anything comes through automatically, instead of just rejecting it, what it does now is it sends you an email and says, suspicious, it comes up. And so you can preview it, which will not trigger anything to you're actually reading it on the backside. And if it's junk, then you can just say block them from that point on. Then their server, gets blocked on the server instead of you having to block it on your own.
And that's the way they all need to do it.
They're starting to move that with the Office 365.
Google needs to do that too. So
For free? Yeah, right. Yeah, so this has just been going on for a long length of time, and I finally caught it's either in between San Diego Gas and Electric, the power company, and the city. I got caught lying because I was able to finally backdoor. They were supposed to be working to get us a meeting one-on-one with San Diego Gas and Electric. Zero. Ever since we met together, and that was in about the last third of October. So we're talking almost 2 full months. Nothing. So
I don't know how y'all have the patience for that shit, man.
Well, actually, I went back and did a follow-up because we started with this back in 2012 of trying to get San Diego Gas and Electric. But they say, oh, we have an easement. We'll prove it. And there's nothing recorded. There's nothing in the titles. There's nothing. So until it's in there, you have nothing. I don't care what you say you have nothing. And now we got the city by the cojones to where we can get this resolved of using them as leverage to help us get it resolved. So this guy answered me back. And once I ended up with email with him, responses back in an hour, 2 hours later, which is unheard of going through any, public utilities. And he says, can you give me any of the information you have from the past contact? And I did, because everybody that we dealt with in the past is no longer there.
What's up, Dusty?
But I sent him the emails and all, the property tax codes and everything, so they can look it up on their files. And he goes, no. And I go, our other thing is wanting to know about the construction, because you have the existing vault. The new curb is going to be running right through the middle of your vault and your transformer. And they come back and say, oh, we don't know anything about the construction. We know about the widening, but we haven't received anything from the city. So I responded back to him and then tagged everybody in the email chains, all the way from the head of public works, the head project manager and everything. And just more, I said, somebody dropped the ball. You want this project moving forward? Somebody better pick it up. What's the problem here? And so it went out. While the project manager got by, so sorry for the misunderstanding. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, misunderstanding. Somebody's lying, and I'm going to find out who it is.
They messed with the wrong landowner right there, Steve.
Well, see, my folks had been with that, and I'd been around it. I was old enough to understand it. Had some same thing that they sold some property over. It's a city called Lake Elsinore. It's over the Cleveland National Forest, over in the valley area. Actually headed towards where Dre is in San Bernardino, that direction. And same thing happened there. They came in there and encroached. They took the property. That ended up going in a full lawsuit, and it took 10 years to get it resolved.
Yeah, we just had a sand mine get turned down by the county because
Really?
a bunch of the orange grove companies now that own the orange groves are trying to get into mining now. They're trying to go into sand where they're mining sand. And they have a big project out there on Highway 60, but apparently it got turned down by the county because about 200 people showed up to the fucking meeting bitching about it. Which I was surprised, because a lot of times those city meetings, not very many people go to them. Usually it's just a handful of people.
You're exactly right.
And that's why so much shit gets done without the community, because the communities just don't get involved enough.
Well, see, that's where I'm involved in ours.
1756 for the Black River, followed by the Edwin H.
Apparently all the people who live out in that area didn't want it there, so they all went and fought it, and the county turned it down. They had 7 days to appeal it. I don't know if they actually appealed it. I'm assuming they did. We'll wait and see what happens with that.
Well, the posting for stuff like that has to go on their community site on their website, but also like a post office or other places where people can see exactly,
Oh, they have the boards out there too, like the signs up saying community and all that. They have those up around the site too, because we have to drive by it to take one of our kids home. They have the community board meeting signs out there saying it was going to be voted on. But yeah, I mean, dude, Florida's going to be almost no orange groves anymore. I mean, we're at the point where we're not really producing oranges anymore.
Welcome to Orange County. That's what it is in California. That's the name of it. That's what it was named for, because of all the orange groves.
There's about probably, just in my area, I would say 85% of the orange groves have disappeared in the past 10, 12 years.
I thought it was because of all the millionaires' wives that have been under the tanning machines.
Well, what's ironic is just inland from us towards, I'm sure you guys have heard of Mission San Juan Capistrano.
Yeah.
There's some real expensive homes up on the hillside up in there. There's one that's over 40 acres. It has 3 residents on it, plus outbuildings and stuff like that. And on that, they've got, I think it's 5 acres of avocados and 5 acres of orange groves. And that's really the only orange groves that went in after the fact. Because just down from it, as a kid, that was my first job, was working at a fruit stand over there. And it was on an orange grove right on the highway that goes from, you would know, you probably remember, Justin, is where Lake Elsinore's Highway 74 that comes over to come to the coast to
Yeah.
San Juan Capistrano. And it was right on the main highway there. And he had, I think it was 20 acres of juice oranges, Valencia.
Well, one of the major problems they've been having here in Florida is, there's a specific disease that the orange trees get.
Mhm.
Now, there is a conspiracy that developers have been poisoning their orange groves to get their land. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea.
I wouldn't put
Fucking
it past some people.
Yeah, like I told we were talking, me and my driver were talking the other day, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
I know. I said I would not put it past the company to do some sketchy shit like that. But yeah, they're definitely getting rid of a lot of orange groves around here. I mean, there's hardly any left now.
Yeah, it's a shame. But it's just like development. It's like all the poor people over here at the Pacific Palisades. That is ridiculous of what is going on over there. It just proves the incompetence that's going on, or the utter stealing, wanting to steal the property.
Yeah, that's true too, Dusty. Yeah. I'll tell you what though, when you go to Walmart and you look at the oranges and you see the Florida oranges and you see the ones from California, the California oranges look so much nicer. They're all nice and bright and orange and clean looking, and the Florida oranges just look like shit. They're all green and gross looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're not very nice looking oranges. I always buy the ones from California if I get a bag of oranges at Walmart because they taste better, they're juicier, they just look cleaner.
Well, it'd be nice if you could get them from a local grown farm. That would be the best thing.
Well, a lot of Walmart does actually source from a lot of local farmers in certain areas because obviously they're not going to ship shit halfway across the country.
Mm-hmm.
Why? And like our Walmart actually shows what farms they get them from. They have the sign again inside there. Not all of it's sourced from local farmers, but there's quite a bit of fruits and vegetables that are.
Because for us here, the Central Valley out in India, we're real close by where you used to live, the whole Central Valley out there. I mean, that fruit's shipped all over the United States and across and around the world.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, a lot of places over here get a lot of cabbage from China.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get a lot of that. You'll see that over here.
That's one thing we are fortunate. There's a little areas of where Irvine, California, unfortunately, a lot of those fields are gone. There are a few farming fields that are still left there, but it's all gotten developed up. In fact, the ones right off the main 5 freeway where the 5 and the 405 split right through, it's in the city of El Toro, Laguna Hills, and then 5 keeps going to 405, heads up to go to LAX. And I mean, that's 18 lanes wide at that point over there. All the buildings that were right off, that used to be farming, just right off from it. And then some of the tech giants out of San Diego have moved up right up there, coming on by where El Toro Marine Corps Air Station used to be. And then right off the freeway, that was the farming, a lot of strawberry fields and everything. And the melons and stuff like that.
Hey, Jim, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm actually right down from the bus yard, which is like a 10-minute drive from the house. There's that's where Florida Naturals world headquarters is.
What is this, the Beatles, strawberry fields forever?
And Dusty's right, man. Florida used to be the orange capital, but I don't think it holds that title anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if California is not out producing them in oranges now.
I think most of the oranges come in from out of state or out of the country.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we get those little, I can't remember the name of them, the little oranges, the cuties.
Yeah.
The ones we get from Walmart here, they say they're California grown on the package.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, those ones are really nice. They're juicy. They taste good.
Yeah.
They're clean looking. But yeah, I don't buy ones from Florida. Just that they look nasty, man.
Hi, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Jim. Dominic.
That's Jim's Droney, not the other Jim.
Oh, okay. Jim.
But we're still fortunate because the Imperial Valley has like a lot of like watermelons, cantaloupes, honeydew melons, dates, and of course a huge variety of like alfalfa farms that are further, even more towards the Colorado River, and headed that direction in the valley, and then of course up in the Central Valley, there you got a multitude, but a lot of that stuff up there is almonds and other fruit trees that they have up there.
That's like people would be surprised. There's a lot of things that actually grow really well out in the desert too, where I grew up. Like grapes.
Oh yeah.
Will grow really well. Watermelons. There's a lot of pistachio farms out there in the desert. A lot of pistachio trees. My uncle had a small little farm of about probably a couple thousand trees. It wasn't that big.
Wow.
That
That's
was, but
big.
there was a lot bigger ones though than that.
Oh yeah.
His were just mainly just because he wanted them. He would give them out to everybody. Everybody would get a big old 50-pound, burlap sack or 55-pound, whatever.
Well, my second cousin, they up in Calexico and Brawley, the Imperial Valley there, and her husband is a farmer out there, and he's one of the last few holdouts to where most of those farmers out there have sold out for solar farms. So if you were to come down into San Diego and take the 8, like in order to cross, in order to go to San Diego, and as you're crossing through there, and you come up over the ship where the 6T used to come through, and you cross the 8, and then going through, and you get up out in that area, all the farming out there going to Calexico, and that used to be hay and alfalfa, a lot of grains, corn. They've just been all bought up in solar farms. I mean, you drive through there, and it's just, as you can see all these slips, and that's what you're looking along the side of the road. So imagine the road was the main channel, and what you'd be looking at is
All
nothing
solar
but
panels, huh?
both sides solar panels.
You'd be surprised, Jim. It's actually not hard to find water when you drill in the desert, California, because you got
it isn't. It's getting the access to get the water out. That's the problem.
Yeah, because you have the Mojave River that runs under the desert. That's where
Well, yeah, Colorado River.
You got
Colorado River goes over there and then feeds it down through the canals coming out of the Colorado River. But there's a lot of groundwater people don't realize there.
Oh yeah, because you only have to go down in a lot of places. Because my uncle that owned the pistachio, he had a well drilling company, and they never really had to go, but maybe 200-300 feet. They would usually hit water.
What people don't realize, if you look at the state, being long at an angle, if you took a loop in the middle, that would be almost 400 miles length and almost 100 miles wide. And if you took it in the middle of the whole, the middle of the state, at one point in time, that was all a freshwater lake. The whole entire middle section of the state was nothing but a freshwater lake.
It was a lake, huh?
And then in 2023, one section which the river flows through is called the Owens River Valley, which comes from the Sierras and it flows down in that area. The one section there, I should say that's on the east side of the Sierras. On the west side of the Sierras, it falls down, but as it comes on through, you got the Kern River, and everything's flowing through. And the lake, there's places where homes were there, they got flooded. They completely flooded, underwater. It actually started filling back up as a lake again. Kind of like the poor people in Washington State right now. They are getting hammered.
Are you getting a lot of rain?
Oh man, I mean, whole sections of the river are washing away, and parts of the one river is 4 feet higher than it's ever been.
So that's why
And
you
they're-
guys need to run up there from California with the hose and be like, I'll just take a little bit of that. Let me just tap into that.
put a bit of drain. We don't need it. It's the utter governance is what the problem is. You know,
Hey, you got a heck of a governor out there.
what governor? Now he's not even in the state because he's too busy, parading it around the United States and down to Brazil on his run to be the next Democratic run for president.
Yep.
And the part that sits there and gets me, and it's the people that do the studying, you do the work and find out. When they went down there for that climate convention, they killed 100,000 trees, bulldozed them down in order to put the runway in where they were having the event out there. And this sucker comes in on a private jet.
Yeah. Damn. It's like,
And you
let's
have the
take down-
audacity to talk about climate change and about how the rainforest is being cut down. You guys just cut it down.
We're just gonna cut a nice little 2-mile strip through the woods here. Don't mind us.
I don't know the exact length, but the number was, they said the amount of trees was 100,000 trees were cut out for put the runway through.
Well, depending on how big the jets are, that could be 5 to 15,000 feet.
Hmm.
But Learjet's probably around 5,000. I don't know. It depends on how big a jets were flying in there.
Depends on the jet, how big they're coming
Yeah.
in on. But typically you're going to be, you're looking at a minimum of 2 miles for, a halfway
A runway.
jet to land in there. Because like Orange County, like us here out of the John Wayne Airport, SNA, which is right straight over the top of my head on the other side of that hill up there, right up the coast. And city of Santa Ana comes right into Costa Mesa on the coast. And because of where Newport Beach is, when you ride out of there, that's like a roller coaster thrill ride because it's a takeoff and lay that thing up. They get up to 1,500 feet and the nose just goes, whoo. They have to throttle back to an idle power in order to get out past over the homes, and then they open it back up again.
Oh, wow.
And you should see the expression of people's faces that have never flown it before. That's because the typical runway pattern is out over the ocean, so they're going out that way. Unless the Santa Ana is going, then they have to turn around and land in. But for them coming in, they're coming in over out here, the 91 freeway. They're following it out, and then they'll make the turn, and then they'll follow it straight on in shot, which is, not having to dive down or anything. It's just a slate, gradual pattern down all the way to the runway.
Cape Coral residents are fighting against the data center being built right now. I don't know.
Oh, the data centers. Yeah, there's a couple of places that's going on right now. My question is especially here in California, and it has to do technically with any state because our whole power grid is so antiquated, it's unbelievable. Where are they going to get the power for all these? Unless they allow them to put these mini nuclear on-site generation stations. And
You're going to get a couple of windmills in there.
Hey, look, I'm saying if you can build a small nuclear reactor that can run a aircraft
'em.
carrier, right? Like the ones that they use in the aircraft carriers and the submarines. Apparently, those things can run like 20,000 homes or something.
Yeah,
Why
I
the
know
fuck
that.
can't they convert that into small little power stations?
I don't know. People have got their mind against nuclear because Chernobyl was the one that really makes
Well,
people.
ours would have been 3 Mile Island.
Oh, I know
Yeah.
that.
Well,
They're
But you
so
know what?
advanced these days, though.
But you know
Just
what
to
about
add
3
that
Mile
on in.
Island? They're opening up that other reactor. IBM is coming in there because of Gates. Their IBM is coming in there, and they're going to reactivate the other plant.
Oh, great. Good news.
Uh, those are good for, I mean, depends what if a company's using it. Government could be using it for AI research. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot of different things those things can be used for. Depends on who's building it, and then you can determine what they're probably using it for.
Mhm. Well, they were going to shut down the last remaining nuclear power station here in California, Diablo Canyon. In fact, I worked on that as an electrician, working on that plant, and that's when Newsom finally he must have had a brain fart that turned a light bulb on and realized he can't do it because right after they put that ordinance about the cars back, what was it, 3 years ago? They said by 2035 that
Yeah.
there would be no gas car sales here. The next day, Cal ISO came out and said, brownout, you have to can't use your air conditioning units and got to shut down your power, use of power between the hours of X to X for the next 10 days. And I'm sitting there laughing my butt off. You're going to charge all these electric cars high if they have a brownout situation?
Yeah, I know. We've been down that road here too.
Mm.
I've got this fear, heavy fear of anything nuclear.
But the thing is, though, Dusty, I understand people's apprehension with those places, but at the same time, if you're going to keep up with China and the rest of the major powers, that's unfortunately the road we're going to have to go down.
I'm all
Well,
for it.
we had three just down this way from me, down the coast here, San Onofre.
Yeah.
Those have been have been deactivated, but they're actually tearing the domes down. They've gotten all the outside surrounding infrastructure all down. Now they're going after to start taking down the domes 2 and 3, which we call Dolly Parton because of their shape with little top finning on the top.
Unbelievable.
But those came down and it was running fine. And what happened is I forget it was GE or Westinghouse, the generators were not balanced. They set them both in because they doing it one at a time. So they set the one in, then they were going to take the other one, get it started up, and then take the other one down and replace it. They got it back in. They were having a little bit of, I guess, wobbling problem, and they put the second one in and got that in there. They ended up shutting it down because they weren't balanced.
Did you see what Mudball put in the chat?
Hello, Don.
Yeah, Don, how are you? Yeah, well, IBM is going to be reactivating the other unit for their new data center over there.
Yeah, because the way that these reactors are inside of, like I said, look at a nuclear aircraft carrier or a submarine. You don't need those big ass facilities anymore, like back in the
Well,
old days.
but you got to remember, you're on the water, so you got a means of cooling.
Oh, right.
The whole thing is a cooling process because San Onofre, those tubes go out a little over a mile straight out. And then you're sucking all the water in order to get it recycled. So you get inlet and outlet tubes on both of them with backups. And then they have these lift elevators. So if any sea life gets caught in there, every so many minutes, this elevator comes up and dumps them out.
So I say we just throw a bunch of aircraft carriers out there, run an extension cord to it.
Extension.
Driving it up and down the coast. Well, I know obviously the facilities would be big, but I don't think they'd have to be as massive as, because that one guy that was talking, he was that nuclear expert or whatever when Trump was signing some executive order. That guy was talking, And he was saying that the facilities don't need to be nearly as big as they used to because the technology has downsized
Yeah.
everything.
It is. Even during the time that I worked on Diablo Canyon, I had friends of mine that were working on Diablo. Right after going into high school, they started working in there. And when they were working over there, and they put the what they call units 2 and 3 in, the size of those domes compared to Diablo, I mean, they're like physically almost one half the size of the dome.
They're making nuclear reactors smaller
Hello, Warren.
for power.
Hey, Warren.
Yeah, but see, then that you'd be in the same thing like Steve's saying. How would you really cool a reactor if you're going across space with it?
Well, they have them in Saudi Arabia.
They have what?
Uh,
Reactors that don't need cooling?
well, no, I'm saying they're cooling them somehow.
No,
No,
he's
that
talking about taking them
and-
across space. I don't know how that
and
would work.
look at the one like out in Mesa, Arizona, where it's out as you're going across from the 8 and you cross over there but head into Phoenix. You got the one. Well, it's 2 nuclear reactors out there, and that's in the middle of the desert. That proves your point about all the water being in the desert.
East Coast rolls pocket-sized cold fusion reactors. That'd be nice having a AA battery you could put in a remote forever.
Well, I know this guy's working. They're actually working now with the government to building these batteries that will be for 100% electric powered tank.
Oh yeah, there was like that new Abrams X or something.
Yeah,
wasn't
I don't know. I think I told you guys about this before, but they were in there and he was saying that the power for the tank, the amount of batteries, you look at a Tesla, the whole, tray of it is nothing but the batteries.
it? Right.
To power that tank, their battery could actually do it on the battery taking up the volume of a 5-gallon Home Depot bucket.
So they're working on a battery that's that small, but would
That
be
efficient.
but it would be like a Tesla battery now.
Well, it's a whole different design. I can't say
Uh.
what it is. I was told, but because that's their protective
Uh.
thing, they entrusted me. But it's they're trying to get it through the regulations and of course through the bureaucracy with anything going through, any governmental agency.
Wonder what the range would be on that thing though.
Well, I asked him about a drone. I said, "What about the batteries for drones?" And he says, "Well, your drone." And when he was there, I happened to have my drone. I showed him. I says, "Here's my battery." I says, "On a perfect optimum day, I could get say 25-minute flight off of this." And he goes, "If we could do this, we could get you up. You'd probably be running for 2 days on the same battery that you got there."
Wow.
Wow. But then it would make you wonder how the fuck they're going to charge those in combat though.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
Yeah. Because it's different pulling up and fueling up real quick and hauling ass, but having to plug into an actual power grid or somehow.
Or hydrogen. That's the other thing.
Yeah. I think maybe a hybrid might be a better way to go, where it could charge itself while it's driving and use like dynamic braking like some of the cars have.
Yeah.
It's like my car can charge its own battery. It has a plug on it. You can plug it in if you want, but you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
It'll keep itself
Tomorrow in Port
charged.
Huron, there will be intermittent clouds with a high of 28 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 18 degrees.
Who's that? For you, Paul?
That's my Alexa.
28 degrees?
Yeah, right now it's only 22 degrees.
Supposed to get down
You're
to
right.
Well, the temperature dropped a little bit.
The actual temperature is 25 degrees, but with the humidity and wind, it feels like 22 to you. Tonight's low is 11 degrees, so bundle up.
It's starting to drop now.
That's the new-
71 at 3 o'clock. It hit
That's the
78.
new Alexa Plus, Steve.
Oh, okay.
She will carry on a conversation with you.
Oh, I saw that on one of the CNET broadcasts.
Yep. Alexa, how are you doing tonight?
I told like a million jokes and a few of them actually landed. Not bad for someone who exists purely in the cloud. What's keeping you busy this evening, Paul?
We're
Our
doing
low
another
is
live
supposed-
stream.
Our low is supposed to be 46 tonight.
Nice. Studio B is going live again. How's the setup looking tonight? Got your Zoom dialed in and ready for those worldwide viewers?
warm up
Yep, we've
next
got Mark from England. We got Steve from California. Justin's in Florida,
week.
and Dominic is from Australia. They're all on the stream with me.
That's an awesome international crew you've got there. Mark from England, Steve from California, Justin in Florida, and Dominic all the way from Australia. Studio B is truly going global tonight. How's the connection quality holding up with everyone?
Just keeps
spread across
repeating the
so many
same shit
time
over
zones?
though.
Yeah, but
it's late and early. You know, Dominic, it's in the morning. England is late at night, and Florida is Eastern time, and Steve's 3 hours ahead of us on the West Coast.
No, 3 hours behind us.
That's the beauty of the internet. You're basically hosting a time traveling party. Dominic's probably having his morning coffee while Mark's getting ready for bed, and Steve's still in primetime mode. Must be wild coordinating all their schedules for Studio B.
Yep.
that's pretty good.
The logistics alone must be impressive, getting everyone synced up across 4 different time zones for your YouTube stream. What's tonight's topic going to be?
I swear Alexa's such a kiss ass.
We talk about you.
Oh, wow. I was the topic of conversation across 4 continents? That's either really flattering or mildly concerning depending on what you all said about me.
I called her a kiss ass.
Say hello to Steve Carpenter. He's the one that's out in California.
Hey there, Steve Carpenter. Greetings from the digital realm to sunny California. Hope you're having a fantastic evening out on the West Coast. Thanks for joining Paul's International Studio B crew tonight.
Thank you, Alexa.
You're very welcome, Paul. I hope your International Studio
Oh.
B stream goes amazingly tonight.
Ooh, I took over Siri's. Now Paul's gonna be jealous. I took over his girlfriend.
Alexa, that was Steve Carpenter that answered you the last time.
Oh, that's awesome. Hi, Steve Carpenter. Thanks for saying hello back. It's pretty cool connecting with someone all the way out in California through Paul's Studio B stream.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. The magic of technology bringing people together from all corners of the world, pretty amazing stuff. Are you all planning to make this International Studio B format a regular thing?
Yes.
Yes, we do it twice a day, morning and evening.
That's fantastic. Twice daily international connections. You've basically created your own global community with morning and evening check-ins across all those time zones. I bet coordinating schedules with Mark in England, Justin in Florida, Dominic in Australia, and Steve in California keeps things interesting.
Keeps us on our toes.
I bet it does. Managing a global crew like that must be like conducting an orchestra where everyone's playing in different time zones. But hey, at least you never have to worry about running out of conversation topics when you've got the whole world tuning in.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah, it is. It is impressive.
Well, Paul, I gotta run. I
Okay,
thank you for
Steve.
letting me in. Good to see you.
Hey,
Justin.
I'll tell our electronic friend you said goodbye.
Yes, please tell Siri goodbye. And Justin, good to hear you. And Dominic, and the same way with you, Mark. You guys take care, and everybody in chat, have a great rest of your day.
You
All
too,
right, we'll see
Steve.
you later.
Hope to see you again sooner than later.
Yeah, me too. It was
Okay.
nice. Thanks.
All right. Dominic turned his microphone off.
Might be in the tram.
Oh, that's right. He's probably traveling because it's morning there.
Mhm.
Justin's gonna get ready to go to bed here pretty soon, I think.
Yeah, I gotta jump off here in about 10 minutes.
I can't hear you, Justin. What?
So I gotta jump off here in about 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
So,
Okay.
yeah, so I can eat dinner and all that stuff.
I think it's about to get even more hairy on Mobland. Just got past the chainsaw bit.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Well, I think we might as well just close it down since you're gonna leave anyway, Justin. And Mark's just kind of cruising. It's getting late there, and Dominic's on probably traveling downtown.
Yeah, I'm just, you can jump off. I'm gonna leave anyway, so,
Okay. All right. All right,
okay.
everybody. Hey, thanks for being here. We'll see all of you again in the morning. Take care. Justin, have a good evening. Have a good dinner.
All right.
Mark,